So yesterday I was walking as I do. I had a meeting in the morning, and then for some reason I was guided to my friend's shop. She's got a rock shop in Carlsbad. It's a beautiful shop, but that's another story. And there was a client there, and she was struggling. She was just struggling. And somehow she turned to me and started speaking to me, as people do all the time, right? And she just started telling me that she's not feeling well, and she's feeling bad, and she's got trauma, and the usual things people say. But then at one point,
perfect stranger.
Yes, no, I don't know. I've never seen her before. She was in the shop just wandering around. You know, she came from another place. She came from Temecula. She came to visit, and she found the shop. And it's beautiful. It's got beautiful energy because there's a whole lot of rocks. And of course, you know, the owner is really beautiful. So of course, it's a beautiful shop, right? And she started telling me so we just spoke about things, and I told her about the rocks because I'm pretty good with that stuff, you know. And then suddenly she said to me, you know, I'm in this relationship now. I found this man that ticked all my boxes. You know, people have their ideal person, whatever that is, right? And they've got boxes. And she said he ticked all the boxes, but it's not working. I'm not feeling it. And he's not nice to me. He's abusive. He doesn't respect me. You know, the usual things. He doesn't respect me. He doesn't honor me. I don't know if he loves me. I don't want to be in this relationship anymore, but I'm afraid. So I said to her, well, how are you treating yourself? And she looked at me, and I said, so he's treating you. So I'm saying he's abusive. He's disrespectful. He's not nice. You're not enjoying it. He's not talking to you. He's not communicating to you. And she turned around and she looked at me, and I said, how are you treating yourself at this moment? And she said, are you respectful? No. Are you speaking to yourself? No. Are you loving yourself? No. What are you doing? Can you see how he's a mirror in your life? He's actually an angel. You must love him for that and see how he's triggering things in your life. And so you can learn from it. And then I said to her, have you got children? And she said, yes. 2 small girls. She said, yes. And I said, what are you teaching your children? Children don't listen. They learn. They learn the way you are. They learn what you do. They don't listen to what you're saying. I mean, you can't say to a child, don't drink, and then drink a bottle of vodka, right? Or don't smoke, and then go outside and smoke.
Right.
So she can't say to her child, like, respect yourself, and then she doesn't respect herself. So on that note, I'm going to leave it open-ended now, as I do.
Come on, man. Are you kidding me?
Okay, well, I spoke to her, and she looked at me, and I got some sage, and I cleared her aura, and she was really happy. And she said, please, can I have a hug? Of course, you can have a hug. Best things ever. And she said, well, you know what? I'll have to leave the shop now. I really don't want to, but I have to go back home. But thank you. She said, thank you. Now I realize things. I see things for what they are. But I said to her, a lot of times we see things in our heads and we know things, but until we bring them to our hearts and we feel them, it means nothing.
Yeah.
So this is Carina. BreakFearFindFreedom. And my beautiful co-host, Dino.
Wow. Hey, how you doing? Well, how the hell do I get into this conversation? Okay, this was very interesting. Very interesting. You know what? I'm sure this isn't the first time that this has happened to you. And it's just funny because we've talked about this a lot, how people, just perfect strangers, will come up to you and just open up. They feel that you give out a certain vibe, right? That makes them relaxed enough to almost, you feel like they're confessing to you. You know, you almost think, hey, why are you telling me all this information? But apparently they have a need to share it. And this is kind of it's a gift, by the way, to everybody. And you can think whatever you want. I call it a gift. But it's a very, very dangerous power to have when you have this gift. On the one hand, if you use it, just be a sounding board, if anything else, for a person, and they can hear themselves. A lot of times they, obviously you have your own answers to your own questions or your own fears. You just don't realize it.
Yes, yes.
But it's such a fine line because you also have this gift. Sometimes you take it and the human in you says, well, I'm a God complex, that kind of a thing, where you think you can solve their problems and you start lecturing. Yes. So it's a fine line. And this is just so amazing that you're bringing this up. By the way, this is not rehearsed, guys. I mean, I had no idea what she was going to talk about today.
I just want to add one thing. Just hold that thought. I forgot to add. What I did say to her is that, remember, I'm not here to make a judgment. This is what I believe. This is what I see. This is your life. You make your own decisions.
Right.
That is very important.
It is.
And I needed to add that because otherwise no one has a right to dictate to another person how to live their lives. It's just the sounding board, like you said. Sorry.
You can't, and again, this brings up a really good point. So if you don't mind, I'll explain to you that show Lemony Snicket's series of unfortunate events. This is not unfortunate events, but it's just as random. And again, like a lot of the podcasts we do, this just happened. Okay. So let me just start by saying, for everybody who doesn't know, or this is the first time that they're watching us speak on this. I am the absolute last person that I would ever imagine embracing some spiritual thing or a message or light, okay? It's always been about me, profit, losses, conquering, all the good stuff that you grow up wanting, all right? And I'm a great hunter, trust me. I've done very, very well in my life. And people say, oh, I'm blessed. Maybe you are. But let's just take this one step further, okay? So here's a guy that is shunned away from his own roots, his own community, his own upbringing, his own church for 40 years. Well documented, 40 years, and it's probably more, but let's just call it 40. It's a nice number, okay? All of a sudden, I come out of my whatever funk I was in, write a book, don't know why I wrote it, know I want to do something, I want to inspire something. The book morphs into me doing philanthropy. Philanthropy morphs into me wanting to feature people in a magazine, Life Without Limits.
Yes.
And now it's going one step further because it's not enough, apparently. When I wrote this book, and you guys can think whatever you want. When I wrote this book, I said, I did a prayer, which I never do. Again, I'm the worst person to be preaching this stuff. But I said, I need your help. I don't want to keep falling back on the old ways. I don't want to keep staying in this funk. I don't want to feel like I'm going to have to drink because I don't know what I want to do in my life. And I said this to myself. I was alone. And I said, show me what you want me to do. I'll follow you this time. This is it's in the book, by the way. It's in the book.
Yes.
I'm probably not quoting myself perfectly, but, read the book. There's your plug right there.
Yes, all the details at the bottom anyway.
This is not about the plug in the book, although in the beginning I thought, whatever you do, plug the book. So I stopped plugging the book. I stopped worrying about the sales. I stopped worrying about all the things that typically in my life I started worrying about. And I just left a blank canvas for me to draw on and create as I move forward. It's the best way I can explain it, right? So let me fast forward. Obviously, in these 2 years, less than 2 years, it's been a whirlwind of just sights, sounds, experiences that I'm just like, wow, I keep pinching myself because it's just like, are you kidding me? This is just like all this good stuff happening. Well, all right. So fast forward to yesterday. Yesterday, I was supposed to meet my cousin. And the reason, I don't want to get into personal stuff, but I'm going to gloss over it so you understand. And the reason I was is because he wanted me to meet his banker, very small bank, very friendly. And because there are some stuff in my family's trust that is, paid off. Mm-hmm. He's like, this is a perfect opportunity for you to just get a line of credit against it. I'm like, but I don't need money. He goes, yeah, but I mean, it's a great time to do it. Even if you don't need it, you have it. So I'm like, you know what? I want to have that. Why not?
Exactly.
I don't know why I want to have it because I don't need it, but what the hell? If I don't use it, I don't owe anything. So let's just go. So I go to the bank and I explain, what I have. And they said, oh, sure. And the easiest way to do this, since you don't need the money, is you could go up to X and it'll be automatically approved. And the X to me, I don't care what it was, to be honest with you, but it was X. It was a real number. So then we finish the bank, we go to lunch. And then on the way back, I take a wrong turn.
Not the wrong turn.
The wrong turn, because I wasn't listening. He said, make a left. I made a right. Then he says, while we're on this street, because you made a wrong turn, pull over here. I want to show you something. I'm like, come on, man. Are you going to show me another property? I'm not interested. He goes, no. We pull in to this 10-acre abandoned, I don't even want to call it a warehouse, but anyway, that's really what it is. Mm-mm. And as soon as we pulled in, I got a cold chill. And I was just like, this is the future site of Fortia, which in Greek means fire.
Nice.
Entertainment group. Okay. He goes, what are you talking about? I'm like, I don't know. So I really didn't know. So I get out of the car and I take a walk around the thing. And then, I'm just like, this is, okay, I'm going to ask. I go, so how much are they asking? He gave me the number. It is the exact number.
That the bank gave you.
The exact number, like not one penny left over, no, don't plus or minus, the exact number. And I'm like, why do I want to do this? And I'm like, okay, set it up. I got to do a walkthrough, whatever. So I drop off my cousin. I'm driving back to my house because I have things to do. And then I get a call, and it's a person who I just met who owns a company here locally called the Loud Music Company. I'm not plugging them, but that's their name. And they have roots in LA, okay, and all the musical stuff, whatever. They decided to have a slower, nicer life, no offense to the people in LA, where I'm at. Okay, so they open up this music shop, and in the back, they have studios that you can rent some time out and play. Tomorrow, I rented out some time to play because I play drums. My brother plays guitar. There's a lot of people that I met in the area that have an instrument, but they're always like, oh, yeah, well, I just have an instrument. I'm like, why don't we all get together and play? Where? I found a studio. Okay. So this guy called me to confirm tomorrow's booking. Mm-hmm. And when he called me, I said, hey, you'll never guess what I'm buying. So I explained this, and I explained Fortia Entertainment. And he says, do you know who my wife is? I said, no, I just met you. Because my wife is one of the biggest producers in LA, and she's helped over 1,000. She's assisted in producing over 1,000 music videos.
I love this.
Okay. He says, I will put my equipment in your place, and my wife will steer the music video business to your place. I'm like, okay, sure. So I hang up the phone. I'm, getting chills
I'm getting chills myself.
I'm pinching myself. This is all 100% true. I'm not even adding sizzle to it, like to make it for dramatic effect. I don't think I need to this time, right?
No.
So I'm off the phone, and then I continue driving, and then I get another call, and it's from my pal, who we've talked about a few times, Basil the comedian. Now I can say this.
Yes,
okay.
Yes.
And we're working on some stuff together because I see some, real big, great potential and stuff like that. And he was like, hey, when are we going to have the next production session? I wanted to know your schedule. And I'm like, well, I just don't. And I froze. And I'm like, Basil, when are you back from your comedy tour? He says, in about a week. I said, when you get back, I'm not telling you anything. In fact, I'm going to blindfold you. I'm going to put you in my car and I'm going to drive you to a place that I'm not going to tell you about. And when I take the blindfold off, you are going to freak out. He's like, well, come on. What is it? Well, I can't hold water. So I kind of gave him a little, bits and pieces of it. And it just blew his mind. He's like, oh my God, I have, all access to the equipment. I have access to the people that do series, that do commercials, freelance actors that need a place to work. All right. Now that's crazy enough as it is, right? And I'm like, what am I doing? Even though I'm excited. And I go to bed. And like all beautiful works of art that I've ever bought, the artwork, all that's original, by the way. Every one of them that I bought, I've looked at, I've slept on it, and if it still lives in my head the next morning, I buy it. If it doesn't, I don't. Well, this damn thing lived in my head overnight. And I woke up thinking, this isn't big enough. This is also going to be a place where I can start doing inspirational videos, inspirational networks, a channel or whatever, where I could spread this message of hope that I think I have everywhere I can. And yes. I have my own place to do it.
It's beautiful.
So now I'm freaking out. This is 5 o'clock this morning. I'm freaking out and I'm waiting for everybody to wake up, as I always do. And I've never done this in my life, but I reached out to our local priest. And I'm like, hey, Father, can you call me? I'm not trying to be weird or anything, but can you call me? When a priest gets this call, I don't know, because I'm not a priest. But when a priest gets this call, they normally are like, okay, this is a troubled person and I probably need to walk them through. And honest to God, I had this discussion with them just this morning, just a few minutes ago. Mm-hmm. And I said, I am overwhelmed right now, but in a good way. And I'm just kind of freaking out. And I just wanted to know, is it normal not to know what the future holds, but feeling so compelled and so strong to follow this voice or whatever it is, that you're doing things that you could never possibly explain or imagine. Mm-hmm. And he says, no, that's the Spirit working through you because you've opened yourself up to it. And I said, where does the line cross where it's not Dino the entrepreneur, Dino the billionaire, Dino the guy who wants a profit? And he explained it perfectly. He said, you can be all those things, but it's a fine line. You got to always remember, what are you doing this for? The money will always come.
Yeah.
But what are you really doing it for? So if you're buying a building and putting a sign that says Fotia Entertainment on it, just so I could say, ooh, look at my building, wrong reasons. Mm-hmm. But if you're doing that and you're still helping other people, spreading that message, that's a good thing, Dino. He's like, you got to embrace it. God only gives you what he feels you can handle. I'm like, well, you know what? He feels I can handle a hell of a lot because it just keeps coming. I'm like, Father, if I went in and bought a lottery ticket, I guarantee you I'd have the winning ticket. That's how I feel every second of every day. So this stuff I get completely, Carina. and I'm not bragging or talking about me. I'm just saying I'm the worst guy that could possibly be talking about this right now, because I've shunned this exact stuff that I'm talking about all my life. Oh God, here's another spiritual guy. He's going to hit me up for money. He's going to act like he's feeling greater than he is. And he's going to just, oh, I'm feeling great. I'm the worst guy you can have here talking to you about this. And yet, this is exactly what I'm going through right now. Exactly what I'm going through. And so I can't explain it any other way except that if you open your mind to a world of possibilities, you'll see them. Mm-hmm. And so if your gift is being able to disarm people so that they can have that pleasant conversation with you, or they could treat you like a confessional, don't be afraid of that power. It's just when you become the God complex, when you become, well, I'm the doctor, that's when it kind of gets messy. And you always have to ground yourself. And so I guess what I'm saying is, I don't think I'd be even remotely effective if I didn't experience the ups and downs of not only business life, but addiction. Because those experiences, those hard knocks and stuff like that.
Yes.
I speak with conviction. I'm not theorizing what you must be feeling. I know.
Yes. That's exactly right? That. Exactly.
And now,
that.
when you were talking to that lady, and if everybody reads her book, I'm not plugging your book, Carina. I'm not even going to say the title.
Okay, thanks.
But thanks. But if you go through your story, you'll find that what she's feeling and thinking is exactly what you were feeling and thinking.
Yes.
So you were able to come from a position where it's conviction. I mean, you're not just guessing what she's feeling. You know exactly what she's feeling.
Yes.
Right? You almost want to tell her, read my book. But you're like, wait a minute, am I plugging my book or not?
Well, I did. Eventually I did, because what happened is there was the lady that was working at the shop at that time. She came in and she said, oh, it sounds like I needed to hear that, because I'm so pessimistic. And I said to her, you can't be pessimistic. I mean, she's young. She's 27 years old. I said, I have to tell you this. Okay, so now I have to tell you this. Aiden, I was arrested and for immigration, that's all, right? I was arrested. I was in detention for 8.5 months. There was no chance in hell that I would ever be released. There was no chance. I didn't have money. I didn't have people outside. I had nothing, but I got a gift. So they all looked at me and I said, I got a gift from a divine intervention where I got third degree, I got stage 3 cancer. And they looked at me.
And they're all looking at you like.
And they looked at me like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong with you? I said, that was my gift, because with that, I was released. Because obviously, they had to release me. Once they got the results, they released me. They didn't want to look after me. I said, what happened after that is that I got the best team ever. I went to UCSD, got the best team, the best oncologist, the best surgeon. What are the odds of that? This person, this strange immigration person that doesn't, supposedly belong here, right? I had the best team. I had everything. And it was all paid for. And when I said to them, look, I'm not doing chemo. I'm not doing radiology. I don't care. I'm speaking to this team, right?
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to walk out right now if you want to give that to me. I'm not doing it. And they turned around and said, no, we've got this new therapy called immunotherapy. Cool. So we did that. A year later, I'm clean. But that was my gift. So they looked at me, and I'm not plugging my book, and I'm just saying, they looked at me, and you just see like, whoa. So go out and see your life, how beautiful it is. Just look at it. Look where you're living. You're living like a stone's throw from the ocean. The trees are beautiful. It's beautiful at this time of the year. Just find something that's beautiful so you can change your mind.
Yeah.
So
now, I will tell everybody that's watching this segment, from this segment forward, watch the evolution of Carina, because you did something very, very important today. And I'm going to just say it right on the show. Okay. You have taken an exceptionally long time to write your story, and you have your reasons. But from an outsider looking in, and as a friend and co-host, I can probably say some of this stuff. But part of it was self-imposed. I mean, let's face it, after all the statute of limitations and all the references to things that, taboo stuff, at the end of the day, you could have published your book a lot earlier than you did, but it was that hesitation. Let me say fear. Okay.
Yes.
And when you did it, you were very, very stoic about it, just like I was, where you want to plug the book. Obviously, we want to make sales. Obviously, we want our story heard, but at the same time, you feel kind of shy and embarrassed, like, why am I plugging my book? That's so cheesy. Why am I'm acting like a salesperson? That's so weird, right? Today was the first day that you posted something that wasn't, you posted something with quotations from you that you said, that you felt, and now people are starting to get to know you. And in fact, today's interaction was probably one of the most talkative ones we've had, where you're like sharing stuff. So you watch the evolution of Carina in the next episodes, because it's starting right now. I'm just telling you right now.
Well, thank you. First of all, okay, this is going to, so I have to come back to you and say thank you, because if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have published that book. Okay, and you need to accept that. You have to accept the thank you. You have to accept it.
All right.
Because this interaction, this podcast that we have every week, it's beautiful, because we talk and we evolve and we talk about a whole lot of things, all sorts of things. But this interaction has such a major impact on my life as well, because of the interaction that we have, and the talk, the conversations we have. So I have to thank you for that too.
Oh, well, thank you. Look at this. A couple of Rockefellers solving the world's problems in 30 minutes. No, look, and here's the thing that unlike, and I'll say this, the Academy Awards, where you got all these people dressed up and they basically praise themselves and they have to do their speeches about politics and what they believe in their head, save the whales I'm not knocking any of that, but you know what? There's a little shallow element to this. Versus, I'll just say it for myself, an idiot, basically, a nothing, I'm nobody, who's doing things that are incredible, and I can't even believe that they're happening. It's certainly not me. And I'm the person saying, I shouldn't be doing this. And so if there's anything that I'm doing, is I'm saying, if I can do this, anybody can. And believe me, you don't have to go to acting school. You don't have to know somebody who knows somebody. You don't have to throw a bunch of money at people so you feel important about who you are. You don't have to drive, the best cars. Or worse, name drop and mention your contacts. My people are bigger than your people. I've seen and lived all that. And I'm just telling you, I'd rather be a guy who enjoys Italian clothes. Full disclosure.
Well, of course, they are the best, right?
Not because of you. The clothes. But look, I like my nice stuff, but it's not like where you walk into a mausoleum for a house nowadays, or that I have to have 18 cars. I don't care. I don't care. Yes. As long as I have my stuff every once in a while, I'm okay. But the greater picture is, walking down the street, you won't distinguish me from anybody. I don't stand out. I'm not, well, take a picture, and I think people like that, because at the end of the day, we're more alike than we think. And the thing is, I had a ball yesterday on Facebook, I'll admit it, where I let the group interact with me and decide a shirt that I'm designing, that I'm going to use the proceeds to fund institutions all over the world.
I love that. I love
on
that.
the principles of success, the way that I was taught them. So I'm not preaching a curriculum or telling you what to do or whatever. I'm just saying, if you are teaching the principles of success that I learned that benefited me and changed my life, then I'll support you. So this shirt, I was just kind of confused on the tagline. And so I just figured I'll throw it out to Facebook. Me, Facebook.
Right. I love
I
that.
know. So I throw it out, right? And people are coming back and they're giving me their responses. And, I just said, you know what? I'm going to stick with this for a while. So I got my phone. And as people are responding, I'm responding back, thank you, and an intimate detail about them that only I would know if I was truly watching and following them, yes. Which is weird. So unlike the glossing over that we've talked about that I hate, here's just an idiot who doesn't understand anything about Facebook, but I remember the people that I interact with, and it became personal. And so all of a sudden, all these people start, interacting more. And actually, one of Lenny Daniels, one of the people that is running the magazine now. Wow, that's another story. But she's like, what is he doing? But then as time went on, it's like he's having fun interacting with his people. Right, and that's what it's all about, right? Right. So instead of thumbs up, thumbs down, smiley face, weird face, unicorn emoji, and all that crap, you respond back with something meaningful about, like, hey, I'm just like you. I'm reading your stuff. You're reading my stuff. I get just as much out of your stuff as you get on mine.
Nice. Yes.
That's what it's all about.
Yes.
So I don't know what we covered on the segment. I don't even know if we cured cancer or if we were remotely interesting. But I did want to share, because when you're saying I just took a random stroll and wound up at this rock place, it just reminded me of what just happened, which is just so, you almost don't want to say this to people because it's at the point now where they're like, oh yeah, come on, what else happened? Let me guess. You walked down a field and you tripped over a rock and there was an oil gusher, just like in Beverly Clay. That's probably how some people think. They're like, nobody can be like this. And I'm saying, it doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter what they think. It doesn't matter. I'm not going to change explaining it the way I am, because that's exactly how it happened. But more importantly than that, I really hope that it explains better to others that your life is just a state of mind. It's like that. Yes, of course. The time that it took to do this literally is how your view on life can change. Yes. And I know people don't believe that. I know I didn't believe that. But hey, go back and watch the shows, man. I mean, I'm just showing you, it's well documented. Just go back and look and you'll see. So I'm very grateful. I'm very honored. I'm very, very driven, and I'm not afraid. My biggest fear today, like I said, that's why I called the priest. It's like, am I doing this for my reasons? Am I doing this for selfish reasons? Should I feel guilty because I'm actually making money doing these things? He says, no. As long as the end result is you're touching people. Nobody says you have to be poor. Nobody says that you can't prosper. You know what I mean? Yes. You can do all those things. And so anyway, that's what I wanted to share. Very personal story. Did happen, just happened. And that's just a day. That's in less than 24 hours, what I just described. It's so exciting. And for me, I see that as
if you're in the right spot,
I have no
right?
better. I got nothing. I got nothing.
Nothing to
Yeah,
add.
it's like a culmination of all the things that, you know, since I've been in this town, I've interacted, met people, and I don't shake their hands and say, "Oh, you know what? You'd be a good source for this business." It's just you meet them. But then when you get an idea, then all of a sudden the people come in your head. Oh my God, this is what you do. I didn't know that. Or this is what you do. I didn't know you'd be interested. And the best thing is when you make them involved in the master plan, either financially or by a contribution that gives you that you know, gratitude or that fulfillment that you'll find that your idea gets so much bigger and so much better when you just leave it, you know, go to let the people will lead you, the people will decide. And it's a cool thing. Yes. So anyway, that's what I wanted to say today. I hope I didn't ramble, but cool stuff. It's
very cool stuff. And again, when you're listening, you're in the right place at the right time. So things just start working and unfolding and just taking you down the river, which is exciting. And again, then you just get people come into your life because that's the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's a movement. And you know what? The person that was always looking at book sales, I'll say it because I'm a capitalist. I did very well on the book when it was first published. I did very well that first book tour, that half a year. I mean, beating all whatever the book was supposed to do. I mean, I did great. Mm-hmm. But then when I stopped plugging the book, and now it's just like hey, I wrote a book kind of a thing. I've 4 times more sales not caring about it than when I was. How does that happen?
But that usually happens, right? When you let it go, it's just like...
I don't know. And now people are like getting the book and they're just like, oh my God, you know, I can relate to this part, or oh my God, this is exactly where I am in life. Lenny Daniels, oh my God, you wrote a chapter called Crossroads, and that's exactly how I feel right now. And I reached out to you. And by the way, she didn't mention it on the segment, but she was crying about the decision that she needed to make in her life just recently before she called me. But it was funny because it's just like, do I tell people I was crying or don't I? You know, that initial stage fright. And I'll say this, I love it, Lenny, and you know, we actually just spoke. But yeah, she was crying. So this thing touches people in different ways that you cannot possibly understand. And instead of sitting back on your laurels and saying, I wrote a book and you know who I am, you just it's just a book, you know, but there's life after the book. There's life, it continues. And so we evolve with it. I evolved on your show. You're evolving on your own show. Just amazing things will happen. So enough preaching. This was great. I hope I didn't, well, you know, we always veer off the subject, but anyway, I had a good time.
Yes, we do. But that's all part of the fun. And yes, so hopefully someone got something out of this today. And yes, I suppose it's about just letting go and trusting. It's about trusting yourself and trusting that things just work out somehow. It's always difficult to do, but it's a process, I guess.
Yeah, right. You're closing your eyes and falling backwards and basically trusting that you're not going to crack your skull on the cement. I mean, that is scary. You always will look back. Hey, am I really going to do this? But I've been falling backwards for you know, months.
Yes.
And my skull's not cracked yet. Maybe.
Well, that's a good sign, right?
Yeah, I know that's a good sign. Anyway, I had fun. This was Break Fear, Find Freedom. Thank you, Carina. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you, Dino.
Your comments are welcome.
Yes, thank you.
A single touch can change the world.
Remember to subscribe and share and
all that
do all
stuff.
those good things. Thank you.
All
Thank you,
right.
Dino.
Take
Thank you,
care.
everyone. Bye.
Bye-bye.